Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Impactful Gems. For those of you all who are new here, welcome to my channel. On this channel, I discuss inspirational topics or things that I have been through personally or things that I know people who have been through things personally. And the purpose of the channel is a lot of times I talk about topics that things that I have experienced to inspire or encourage you to give you the tools to help you hopefully not make some of the same mistakes that I've made or some of the same bad decisions and to offer solutions to various things. And I did want to announce that I had my first interview on the station a couple days ago. So go back and check that out. I had a credit and finance expert on Highly Rainy. So go check that out. And his information is very informative. So today I am going to talk about relationships and getting toxic people out of your life immediately. So many times we stay in these toxic relationships that are so unhealthy and such a waste of time. And as you already know, with time, you can't go to the store and buy time back. So once that's gone, it's gone. So I'm going to touch on a lot of different things, several different things to talk about toxic people. And I'm going to get offer solutions also to empower you and hopefully encourage you to get out of those toxic relationships expeditiously. Okay, because they're a waste of time. So, so one of the things that actually, unfortunately, how we get into these toxic relationships in the first place is that we pick low hanging fruit. And what I mean by that is it's something that I just wanted to read the definition actually. I love definitions, y'all. So I had looked it up, but I think it came off this phone. What's the definition of low hanging fruit? Give me 1 second here. Here's the definition. Okay, here we go. So here we go. So it's a thing or person that can be one obtained or persuaded with little effort. So that's how we end up in toxic relationships a lot of times because we just settle. That's really what it means to me. Summing it up, we settle for things or people that we know that we are not equally aligned with, but we just settle like, oh, okay, well, for whatever reason, because it could be a lot of different reasons. Some people they may say, oh, I'm getting older, and there's nothing else out there. I've heard so many things, y'all. Like I've heard a lot. I've heard a lot. Um, so I've heard, how many of y'all have heard this one? Well, all the good men, they either dead, gay, or in jail. Now I've heard that. I've heard that. That's what I've heard. I've heard people say that. All right. So that's that. And then you have different reasons why we settle. And so I just want to just talk about this a little bit. So one of the things that I did want to talk about is what happens when when you stay and will settle and stay in toxic relationships is you don't nip things in the bud right away. You let them just go. For instance, letting a man talk to you any kind of way. What is happening right now? He disrespects you. He talks to you any kind of way. That's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. And what's going to happen a lot of times, what happens is that can lead to other issues. Shall I name one? How about domestic violence? How about that? Yeah, how about that? So I got a statistic I wanted to read here. Yeah. In the USA, check this out, y'all. In the USA, Approxim- Approximately 3 women are killed by an intimate partner every day, and nearly every 9 seconds, a woman is assaulted or beaten. Okay? So, a lot of times when we stay in these toxic relationships and you don't stop it, I'm talking about, all right, bye bye. Bye bye, sir. Bye bye. You're out of here. You stay in them, and guess what happens? It gets worse. That ain't gonna just go away. No, it's not. Communication is very important because, especially when you first start dating someone, you don't know them. They don't know you. You don't know them. So, it's communication is very important because it may not even be like them cussing you out or cussing at you. It may not even be anything like that. Sometimes it's very subtle. It could be very subtle. So, you need to have communication with that person and say, hey, did you really mean what you said? I didn't really like what you said. I didn't like the tone. I didn't like what you said when you said that. Um, and you may need to explain to them what your depending on what the situation is, because it's hundreds of different situations. But letting them know, hey, don't do that again, because that's disrespectful, or whatever the case may be. And you'd have to let them know right away. Don't wait. Let them know right away. You got to nip it in the bud right then and there. Because if you don't tell them, they won't know. And especially if you've been in a domestic violence situation or a unhealthy relationship, they may not know that. Because guess what? Maybe their last woman let them talk to them like that. Then you got to let them know. I don't care what Miss Susie did. You're not doing that over here. And they have a choice. Okay, either they gonna get it together or they gonna have to get out your life. See, all that settling, y'all, it's not good. It's not healthy, and it can cause you a lot of stress and trauma. And guess what? It may cost you your life. Yeah, for sure. So I did want to talk about that. And then also about, so this kind of goes with, not being equally aligned. I wanted to give some examples about that too. The Bible calls it unequally yoked. And a lot of people, a lot of times, it's different definitions that people have about that. But, it's several things that that category could go in. But I wanted to give a couple of examples, practical examples of being unequally yoked or unequally aligned. So, say for instance, now this is not really, people do this. So I some people do this. Some people do this. So, but this is just a practical example that I have heard about that people do. So, being unequally aligned would be, one example would be, you go to work, you all busting your behind working, and he's at home playing video games. What's happening right now? He's not sick. He's not disabled. He's not nothing. He's just sitting at home playing video games. But you're out working. All right, that's one example. Then, have y'all heard this example? Somebody was telling me this about a few years ago, where the woman, he takes her car. Check this out, y'all. He takes her car. He doesn't have a car. He takes her car, drops her out, drops her off at work, and um, then he just goes out to kick it all day and picks her back up at work. Yeah. Have y'all heard this? And I want y'all to comment if y'all heard some of these examples, or maybe you've experienced this, or somebody in your family, or, there's no judgment here. I'm just saying, I'm trying to empower you all that we need to really work on these things, or we should work on these things. What about, oh, this is a more kind of, well, it's still unequally yoked, but I was going to say a more positive one. But what about, have you ever experienced, or do you know anybody that's ever experienced where You're having a conversation with someone, like you're in a relationship, you're dating someone. And this goes with it being unequally yoked or unaligned together, where you're talking to the person. And like, say you like to read. And I'm not saying everybody likes to read. That's not what I'm saying. Just give me a minute. But you notice, like in your conversations, they have nothing to impart. Like he's not imparting anything into you. He's not pouring into you. He's not, and you're sitting on the phone like, "Well, what is happening? I don't know what's happening here. Um, what's the word I'm looking for? It's when they can't engage, they can't engage in conversation with you. Like they're just like, uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. And you're like, it's this supposed to be a conversation. This supposed to be a dialogue. So that yeah, that is yeah. Or have you all ever been talking to somebody, or you call them and they're like never doing anything? Like when I say never, like you be like, what you doing? Nothing. Are you ever doing anything? Like ever? No, I'm not doing anything. All right. So that would go into the no ambition. They don't have any ambition. They have no goals in life. But you do. But you do. But they don't. That's unequally yoked. It's not, it's just, yeah. I mean, everybody can do what they want to do, obviously. Everybody has free will. But I'm just trying to give you some examples of what these mean. And it's just, it's something to really think about. It really is, you all. It's something to really think about when we're out here in these streets, because it's something else out here. It's yeah, it's something else. It's something to really think about when you're out here meeting people. I just think it's really, in my experience, it's really best to cut it off at the root, because you know what happens is the longer you stay, the harder it is to get out. Because it's easy to get, and don't even get me started talking about love bombing. That's a whole nother topic. I could do a whole video on that. Plus, I said I was gonna do a domestic violence series and a narcissism series, and yeah, I just gotta really get into that because I know once I tap in, I want to, really stay on those subjects until I complete the subjects. But I wanted to talk about solutions to help you all. Okay, so one of the solutions would definitely be work on yourself. Make sure that you develop your self-care habits, whether it's going to the spa, whether it's, everybody has different what they want to do, what you feel good doing. Maybe it's going to the spa, maybe it's, just get in your bathtub and lighting a candle and listen to music, whatever it is, whatever your ritual you want it to be, make sure you do that. And because here's the other thing, this goes along with the solution. A lot of times, toxic people, they can zap your energy and take you away from the things that you like to do. And next thing you know, you be like, what happened to me? Like, I used to like to do this. Why am I not doing this anymore? So we got to really watch that too. And just really think about that. Think about the self care part. Yes. And it's, I just, and the other thing also that I wanted to impart into you all, listen to positive music. Hmm. Listen to positive music, whatever. Everybody has different choices of music, but whatever you want to listen to that's going to uplift you and keep you positive. Because what that'll also do too, it will also empower you to not settle. Like, no, I'm not settling for this. No, I'm better than this. So that's another suggestion that I have. Watch those. This goes back to cutting them off at the root. It's not just what they say, it's also what they do, the inappropriate behavior. If you start to see people, when they get mad, they start slamming doors and throwing stuff. All right. All right. You can stay in those relationships if you want to. Yeah. Not good behavior. If they're 50 and they're acting like a 2-year old, they're having a tantrum. All right, you may want to check that red flag. You may want to you may want to put that on your red flag list. All right. We have to take our power back, you all. And I know it seems like this is geared towards women, but if men, y'all got this far in the video, this is for men too, because men have toxic relationships also. Okay. So I'm just want to make that real clear. We have to take our power back. Just, you know what? You know what? Now, I did want to impart this into you all. You know what else will help you take your power back? I love I love autobiographies anyway. I just do because I love to read about people's lives and how they overcame things. Because a lot of times I read books that if I've been through something, I like to read books that people have been through the same thing that have overcome them because that motivates me. So let me tell y'all, this is a sad story, but it's a true story. When I first heard about it, I was like, is that true? Because somebody told me about it. I didn't know. When the person told me about it, I thought they were telling me about like something that was fictitious. And then they were like, no, go look it up. And I went right away. This was like a couple years ago. I went right away and I looked it up. I was like, oh my gosh. And I went and got the book. And so it I haven't read the whole book yet, but I it's all on YouTube. It's all on they did a whole series about it. But it's it's the Dirty John story. Dirty John, Deborah Newell. She's the author of the book. It was her story. And let me tell y'all something. If y'all in a toxic relationship, read that book. Read that book. It'll help you. It'll give you some insight up in here. It'll give you some insight, and it'll help you. Like, okay, let me work on getting out of this toxicity. All right. So I just wanted to encourage you all today. Stop picking the low hanging fruit. Stop settling for these toxic relationships because you can't buy that time back. Once it's gone, it's gone. And I would just want to empower you all. Yeah. So my gem for today is don't ignore the red flags. Period. That's my gem for today. Very simple. Don't ignore those red flags. Okay, y'all. And let's get better. Let's get better. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. Y'all, let's get better, okay? That's all I want for you all, for all of us, is to get better because we only have one life to live, right? All right, so like, subscribe, share with anyone that you think may need it, comment. All right, everyone, see you on the next video. Have a wonderful day or evening or whenever you're watching this. Bye bye.